Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, my name is Integer, and let me adjust my microphone, because it's not really in a convenient location. There we go, that's better. Welcome to yet another one of these, and this is kind of the first episode where I try and change the format a little bit from going simply calling this a fail blog. I'm going to call it a news blog. Reason being, I've decided not to limit what I'm going to talk about only about my own channel and stuff that I plan of doing or usually have failed of doing, but also a few other things, gaming stuff related and whatnot. We'll see how it goes. So we've got a few things to talk about you today, and first and foremost, hope you have been enjoying pretty decent weather. At least it's been so here in England. Inscribed leather gloves, oh my god. And nice weekend, sunny, not rainy, pretty much clear skies. It's been pleasant, really pleasant. This guy is just standing there taking damage. Why not? We're in the sludge fields, by the way, in Hillsbride Foothills. And I've literally, if you remember one of my last, I think it was my last fail blog episode, I had, excuse me, I had been doing some, just mining, gathering tin ore here in Hillsbride, and I'm literally just continuing right after that. I hadn't touched the game since making that fail blog. So yeah, I hope you're doing fine. April Fools survived, and hadn't been fooled too much. That kind of escaped me personally, so I must say I'm pretty happy with it. So we need to report to this person somewhere up there. That's fine. So what's been going on? Well, mainly I've been really struggling to get my head around what parts to get for upgrading my PC, because I'm basically working on two PCs simultaneously. The first one is my own, the second one that I'm building for my dad, and thankfully I've just ordered last two parts today. You know what, there's trouble at the sludge fields. Okay. Cancel the cinematic. Okay, yeah, sure. We need your help. Kill Citizen Wilkes, Cleric Horace Whitesteed. Sure, why not? I would have built both PCs, really. Upgraded mine, built the one I just mentioned this weekend. However, my cat Alaska, she apparently had gotten into a fight on Wednesday night, and she came back home limping and everything, and there was a big sore on her, one of the back paws. So I had to take her to an emergency vet appointment on Thursday. That's why I had cancelled all the purchases I'd made from Amazon for the upgrade, because I didn't know how much it would cost and how extensive the damage would be and so on. Thankfully, it just seemed to be like a bite wound. Got some inflammatory, some antibiotics. She seems to be recovering very well. And with that being said, I went back and invested some more money, not as much as I originally intended, but invested some money into new PC parts. Actually had bought a motherboard off eBay, which I will go into more detail on in the video when I actually make the update as to what it is and how much I got it for. And order lots 2 bits and pieces today. They should arrive hopefully by Tuesday. And yeah, I will be able to go forward and make those goddamn upgrades and build a other computer. So there's that. The main reason why I really am eager in building the new PC, the one I mentioned I'm doing for my dad, is because I want to see how well that computer is gonna run Mass Effect Andromeda. Luckily, I just checked just before I started recording this video that EA Early Access gives you 10 hours free trial of Andromeda, so I will be able to download that game, play it on the new computer, see how it runs, and then post results, which is, I think, a really good benchmark. It's gonna be a relatively, low to mid-end PC, gaming PC, and seeing how it copes with a brand new AAA game, that's running on Frostbite. It's quite a demanding game if you crank up all the settings to the maximum. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to and expecting. Well, I must say I'm potentially expecting the unexpected. I've heard good and bad things about the performance on that game, and it'll be interesting to see what exactly we get. Save 15 human seedlings. Okay, this is a horrible quest, by the way. So we can just pull them out like that. There are two ways of playing this quest, by the way. One is whacking their heads with a shovel and you kill them. Yeah, that's not pretty. Another one is you just can click on them and pull them out like that, which means you literally save them and they run away with their lives. So, yeah, your choice. I clearly choose the humane way. There are enough atrocities done by undead in this world so far. What else? I've also decided I want to make like a discussion video on games, especially AAA games, big releases and their marketing, and how we've had a good few examples in the recent past, like within the last year or so, how games that were marketed to the T, I mean, they've been pushed through every single possible channel and had ample media coverage, months if not even years prior to the release. And upon release we discover that, I'm inclined to say a pile of crap. That might be quite severe. But yeah, you basically find out it's a pile of crap. Either in terms of the gameplay itself or the way it runs. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention any names just yet. And on the contrary, you have games that receive minimal, if any, coverage prior to release. Even to the point where it's deliberately the copies to the press and the reviewers and whatnot have been deliberately suppressed and not released. In what I can only think as fear-driven decision, in case they don't like it and they do bad publicity for the game prior to the release. And when the game comes out, it turns out one of the best games of the year, if not the decade in its genre. And there are a few examples like that. And I mean, it's not even a game that, potentially could be called a AAA game, but, released by a relatively small studio. It's, developed and published by big names. And I just thought it's something that's potentially worth talking about, because it doesn't really make sense how games that are clearly subpar are being pushed left and right, potentially because they know once it's out, people will find out, and that will the word of mouth reputation is still massively strong in the gaming industry, whereas on the contrary, on the other end of the spectrum, there is no really that situation that if a game is good, you would think they would want to promote it because it's good and dish out review copies prior to release, so that people would be well informed by the time it comes out that this is actually a game worth buying and playing. And it doesn't always happen. And just talk a little bit more on that. Why? And also how you'd think by now people would be smarter and a bit more, and would have a bit more insight as to what signs show or would point towards the game being a finished, polished, and overall quality product. Especially when you consider you're buying a game for say £40 full price. £40. I was thinking back when I was still living in Lithuania, say around 2004, 2005, when I had first started playing World of Warcraft in private servers, there's no shame, but about 2005, early 2006 is when I started getting into the global, Blizzard servers and paying for it. And the game itself, even the expansion, would cost probably what, 25-30 euros or pounds, about what, $40, and you would have a $10 or whatever, £8-9 monthly subscription. I started thinking, and I realized that the equivalent in Lithuanian currency, we have euros now, but back then it was, we had our own thing. The conversion rate of £1 would be roughly 4 times 5. So our currency was 4 times 5 less valuable than £1. And you would pay, in the hundreds for both the game and say 2 months game card, because I didn't have a card so that I could subscribe over the internet. I wouldn't even consider or dare asking my parents at the time to do something along those lines. In general terms, the online the card payments were not that big of a thing 11-12 years ago in Lithuania. So I would have to go in a store, buy the physical copy of the game, and buy the 2 months prepaid game card for World of Warcraft, and dish out in Lithuanian currency about 200. Well, the currency is litas, so I will refer to that just so I have a word for it. So 200 litas, which would be about what now? Probably 60-70 pounds. And 60-70 pounds to me now doesn't sound as much as 200 litas sounded back in that context of 2005 and 2006. So, for someone who's not making a lot of money, or who's not living, in West Europe, where the cover light on skate, yeah, whatever, dude, I'll try and find it. Or for someone who doesn't live in Western Europe, I'm not saying living in the third world country, but there's a big difference between, say, economic situation in Lithuania, even now in, say, United Kingdom, and I'd say majority of the Eastern European countries in general. That price is a lot. Paying £40 for a AAA title for that release, that's a lot of money. And no matter how good the game looks, and how you'd be tempted by it, you really need to do your research, because thank God for Steam refunds these days. At least you can do that. But if you buy it on any other platform, yeah, good luck. If a game is a piece of crap, you're parting with your money for good. And unless you force feed yourself that game and play it because you have to enjoy it because you spent so much money, there's no real other way out of it. But I'm digressing and elaborating a little bit too much. God, where did these two clowns come from? Oh god, extra quest. Master Apothecary Lydon. Oh yeah, because I just released them. Kill some monstrosities and whatnot. So yeah, that's fine. So yeah. There's that video that I want to make. Oh my, that was quite a lengthy elaboration on it. Apart from that, I've started a new Let's Play series on a different game, following this week's Steam weekend sales on anime games. I'm not gonna tell you just what you'll see. It's gonna come out this week. I've got about 3 episodes worth of footage filmed right now. Just need to convert it and upload it. Convert it, edit it, export it, and upload it. 4 stages technically. And also got another 2 episodes of me and Galileo's playing Battle Block Theater. I'm also inclined in making a video on Faeria, the collectible card game that's free to play, available on Steam, because that game's pretty awesome. It's not the same as Hearthstone, for instance, where you have to pray for RNGesus, because that's a little bit too much. I've been playing a little bit of Hearthstone, and as much as I enjoy it, there's just too much RNG. Magistrate Burnside slain. I guess invulnerable. How do we down him? Let us there together. We shall put an end to this ruler. So I guess we have to come closer. Then he will turn off the shield or something. See now the product of melding. Yeah, dude, stop talking. Just take some arrows in your face. Charge. Bush. Beautiful. He went down like a peach. You will receive some gold and experience Stillwater Cloak. Ooh, that's a sweet. Take the head of Wooden Stillwater. Okay, another dude to kill. Fine. Yes, where was I? Yeah, that game is not as RNG filled as Hearthstone is. And as much as I like Hearthstone, I like the setting, I like the art, I like the mechanics. That randomness that is so much present within the game is too much. Now we have to kill this dude. Okay, I guess these old guys in the background will side with him as well. That's fine. Heals you for 30% maximum health. Let's put it on Shift 1 shortcut. So, any other topics? We're getting closer to Dawn of War 3 release. I think mid or end April. That's something I'll probably try and pick up. Haven't really had a decent Humble bundle that I would at least like to look at. The streaming bundle, I kind of did a little look at it on my Twitter. The other one is the multiplayer online bundle, and yeah, that thing, I mean, none of the games really appealed to me that much. What I was interested in taking a closer look at is the Humble monthly deal, where you pay $12 and you get a bunch of random games, which are usually on paper look pretty good. You know, $100+ worth of content for $12. So you know that definitely doesn't look too bad. Then again, the fact that it doesn't look too bad, is it really that good? I mean, that's a question potentially I'm going to leave for the video itself. And yeah, it'll be an interesting conclusion to see. I have like an idea where I want to go with that video. So that's on the table as well. And one last thing. Stillwater cloak. That's a decent cloak, but I've got a heirloom item as my cloak, so that's going straight to the seller. Speak to Sarge Hinot at the ruins, or Serge Hinot at the ruins of South Shore. Okay, we're going to Sound Shore. Fine. Mount our flame saber, and off we go with Mr. Mittens on our side. Yes, the only other thing that I was thinking of delving a little bit deeper in is with the release of the new Ryzen processors. I have a little discussion and comparison of not the performance itself. I mean, there's pointless doing the performance reviews. I can't acquire them myself. In other words, what's the point in doing, any sort of comparisons if all I have to refer to is other people's opinions and their benchmarks, which I'm not doubting are not necessarily inaccurate or untruthful. But you're conducting research, you want to do it firsthand. No, there's something different that I would like to look into, and I already kind of started doing my research on, which is, you know what, I'm not gonna reveal it just yet. Whether everything that I've just mentioned is gonna come out next week, that's probably not. Let's say if I plan it to come your way within following 2 weeks, that's potentially a bit more realistic, and A, gives a little bit more time for myself and not as much pressure, but B, I want to try and be as realistic as possible with what expectations I set out for you guys. So, we're here down in South Shore, did some quests, killed someone dead, and before I continue, I will finish off. So, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope I gave you a little bit of an insight, what's coming on and what's going on. I hope you have a good week in front of you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe if you want to stay tuned to the future content. The dislike button is there as well. Comments, as always, welcome down below. And I'll talk to you very shortly. Good night and take care for now.